how to get hired at AWS as a solutions architect?
So the short answer is
Getting a lot of experience helped me, and that's through internships, placements. I think it really solidifies everything that you're doing at uni.
I had to apply over 300 times.
So I would say one of the most important things here is.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm here at the AWS office in London and I'll be asking AWS Solutions Architects how to actually get hired at Amazon Web Services. So let's get started with the first interview. Today I'm here with
Ziying,
Zing, where from?
Malaysia.
And what do you do?
I'm a solutions architect at AWS.
Okay. How long have you been doing that for?
About 9 months.
9 months?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question we have today is how to get hired at AWS as a solutions architect.
So the short answer is get more familiar with a lot of your basic computing concepts, like your networking, all of that kind of stuff, do your projects. My answer is get hired as an intern if you're still in uni. It does make the whole process slightly easier.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Okay, and how was your experience getting hired as an intern and then getting the full-time position?
Yeah. So my interview process consisted of, the basic application, and then you do your online questions, that kind of stuff. Then you go through a phone screening or a technical phone screening, and that's where they ask you a lot of your basic computing concepts. And then you'll get interviewed with your hiring managers. So that'll depend on whoever is hiring you at the time.
What are some of these concepts other than networking?
So we have like security, operating systems. Just think your basic like computing, whatever modules you study in uni, that kind of basic questions.
Right now I'm joined by
Shiraz,
and Shiraz. What do you do?
I'm a solutions architect here at AWS.
Okay, that's nice. How long have you been doing that for?
I've been with AWS almost a year now.
Okay. And the question I have for you right now is how to get hired at AWS as a solutions architect.
So I would start off with, I think experience is really important. Like getting a lot of experience helped me, and that's through internships, placements. I think it really solidifies everything that you're doing at uni. It really complements it really well. I found that second I did internships, the job offers and the interviews felt a lot easier.
Okay, so what kind of internships did you do before getting into AWS?
So they were mainly tech roles in a few companies. They weren't the same job all the time or the same role even, but being in different roles really helped me land the SA role, because the SA role, as you know, is quite general. So having a variety of knowledge really did help.
Yeah, definitely breadth is very important for a solutions architect. And did you get hired straight out of university?
I did, yeah. I didn't do the internship, although I have heard that the internship is a good way to get into AWS. The interview process is a lot easier than out of uni, but again, I did it out of uni, so it's still a good route.
Okay, and if you had one tip for everyone else who's looking to do the same now, what would that be?
And work on projects and get experience. I can't emphasize that enough.
Right now, I'm joined by
Celine,
Celine. What's her role?
I'm an associate solution architect, just like you.
Okay, and the question of the day is how to get hired at AWS as a solutions architect.
Well, in my honest opinion, you have to get lucky, but also you have to work hard. So if you spend time actually revising for your role, you just have to continuously apply, and eventually someone will see your worth, and they'll hire you, and you'll be able to maybe work with this guy over there.
But what do you think is the ratio between luck and hard work? Which is more important to you?
So I'm assuming here, the question here is actually a question of numbers. So I did not start fully as a solution architect.
Okay.
I was actually an intern beforehand.
Right.
And from that summer of 2022, oh my God, it's been a while.
Yeah, I did my internship during that summer as well.
Yeah, I had to apply over 300 times.
Okay.
For what, 5 roles acceptance, something like that. Don't make me check. But yeah, so that's what's the difference? Did I improve on my CV in between that first application and the last? Yes, but I think that's the most important thing is apply, because they cannot select you if you don't apply. And
So
yeah.
how important is the CV now that you mentioned that?
How
Like, how important
important?
it is to spend a lot of time perfecting it?
You know, in modern CV applications, probably it's actually really important to see if it's machine readable.
Okay.
So if you have any keywords for the position that you actually want to apply, make sure that you apply to it. But as well as making it machine readable, you have to make it human readable. So any skills that you want to put forward, such as leadership skill, maybe logic, or Python, you have to bold those.
Yeah.
So you put it forward. This is not a very advanced advice, but it
Now,
has to.
sometimes the simple things work better, right?
Yeah, so it has to look nice, and it has to be machine readable. There you have a number of websites that you can actually input your CV into to see how machine readable it is, and how many of those words gets picked up.
Right now, I'm joined by
Aaron,
Aaron. What do you do here at AWS?
I'm a technical account manager here at AWS.
Okay, and what do you do as a technical account manager?
So what we do is we look after enterprise customers. So anyone that's in our enterprise support agreement, we look after their existing infrastructure, and whereas solution architects would be more about kind of the realm of the possible and what they might do.
Right. Yeah, I work together basically as one
Yeah.
big team. And the question of the day is how to get hired at AWS. So, what's your advice on that?
So I would say one of the most important things here is not just to think about your kind of university education, which is obviously very helpful, but also to think about how to gain the skills that you might need for both the interviews, but also when you're actually in the role.
Right.
So those are two kind of different skills I see as kind of your interviewing skills. And obviously it depends what you're interviewing for. So if you're doing an SDE role, then you might need to practice leak code and things like that, but also actually being employable once you're in the role. So I think this is one of the things that Amazon does really well, is they're able to kind of tell whether you would perform well in the role separate of the interview. So being able to prepare for actually being job ready, I think, is really important. And one of the ways you can do that is through internship experience. So before I joined here, I did an internship at Microsoft. And I think that really helped me ready myself for the interviews for Amazon and also the actual job role, which I think is really important to prepare yourself for.
Yeah, I can second that. I also similarly had an internship at Microsoft.
We just missed each other.
Right. But yeah, it definitely helps a lot. And other than the interview skills, what are the most important technical skills you'd say to be successful and get hired?
So I think this really depends on the role. So for me personally, within the technical account manager role, I think one of the most important technical skills there is kind of architectural design and things like this. So that also overlaps with the solution architect role, and being able to kind of spot these potential problems that can arise, whether that be resiliency problems, security problems, and things like this. But again, if you're going for the kind of SDE role, then perhaps the most important skill there would be probably something like abstraction and being able to pull the problem apart into its component points. So I think it depends on the role.
Great. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Thank you.